Picture a president, a big, powerful leader, ditching his fancy life to become a waiter, serving food in a busy restaurant. Why would he do something so crazy? What secret was he chasing? And what he found will shock you to your core. This is the wild tale of Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, who went undercover as a waiter. And trust me, the truth he uncovered will leave you speechless. Get ready for a heart-pounding adventure that'll keep you glued to every word. The sun was sinking low in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso's lively capital, turning the sky a fiery red. The city was buzzing, street vendors yelled about their juicy mangoes. The air smelled of spicy stew and grilled meat, and people chatted loudly as they walked by. Right in the middle of this chaos was a little restaurant called Le Soleil d'Afrique, the Sun of Africa. It was a warm, noisy place where folks came to eat yummy food like rice and chicken stew, laugh with friends, and share their stories. But one night, something totally unbelievable happened. Something so big it became a legend. A new waiter named Issa was working the tables. He looked like any other guy, white shirt, black apron, a name tag on his chest. He smiled, brought plates of hot food, and poured drinks like he'd done it forever. But here's the crazy part, Issa wasn't a real waiter. He was Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, a young leader who was famous for shaking things up. Why would a president pretend to be a waiter? Was he joking? Was he hiding something? Stick with me, because this story's about to get wild. Ibrahim Traoré wasn't your usual president. He was only 37, super young for a leader, and he grew up in a tiny village called Kara, where life was hard. He knew what it was like to struggle, farmers working all day for nothing, moms trying to feed their kids, and kids dreaming of a better life. When he became president in 2022, he promised to fix things, stop bad guys stealing money, help poor people, and keep Burkina Faso's gold for its people. But Ibrahim didn't want to just sit in a big office and listen to boring reports. He wanted to hear the real truth from regular folks. And where do people talk the most? At a restaurant, where good food makes everyone chatty. So, Ibrahim came up with a super bold plan. He took off his army clothes, hid his famous red hat, and became Issa the waiter. Nobody knew, not his friends, not his guards, not even the restaurant owner, who let him work one night without asking why. His plan was simple: listen, watch, and find out what was really happening in his country. Can you guess what he heard? Keep reading, because it's about to get juicy. Issa walked around Le Soleil d'Afrique like he belonged there. He carried trays of steamy rice, spicy fish, and cold juice, smiling at everyone. He joked with a grandpa about the hot weather, helped a kid pick up a dropped fork, and cleaned tables super fast. But his ears were wide open, catching every word. At one table, farmers were mad because seeds cost too much. One farmer said, "I work so hard, but I can't feed my family." At another table, a young waitress named Amina, who worked with Issa, said she couldn't pay for her daughter's school stuff. "I want her to be someone big," Amina said sadly. An old lady with a bright scarf talked about how scary the roads were now, with bad guys causing trouble. Every story made Ibrahim's heart hurt. These were his people, and they were suffering. He wanted to help, but he needed to know more. What happens next will grab you tight. Then, Issa saw something that made him stop. A group of men in shiny suits sat at a big table, laughing super loud. They ordered fancy food, big plates of goat meat, expensive drinks, and tons of rice. They threw money around, acting like kings. Issa brought their juice, but he listened hard. They were bragging about cheating people, paying off important folks, and getting rich. "We run this town," one guy said, flashing a gold watch. Ibrahim's blood boiled. These guys were talking about corruption, the exact thing he wanted to stop. He kept smiling, serving their food, but he was memorizing everything, their faces, their words, every little thing. This was huge, and he wasn't going to let them get away. But the night was about to take a crazy turn. Don't look away, because it's getting intense. Issa kept working, but he saw more problems. The restaurant workers were tired and upset. Amina said their boss sometimes didn't pay them for weeks. "I can't buy medicine for my girl," she said, almost crying. The cook, a big guy named Musa, was mad about the old, broken kitchen stuff. "We work like dogs, but get nothing," he grumbled. Issa nodded, acting like he understood, but inside, he was angry. These were good people, working hard, but life wasn't fair to them. He thought about his promise to make things better, and he knew he had to do something big. But then, something even bigger happened. Can you feel the excitement? Keep going, because this is where it gets wild. It was late, and the restaurant was getting quiet. Most people had gone home, and Issa was sweeping near the table with the fancy men. Their voices were low now, sneaky, like they didn't want anyone to hear. Issa got closer, pretending to clean, his heart beating fast. What he heard made him freeze. The men were planning to steal gold, Burkina Faso's gold, the stuff that was supposed to help build schools and hospitals. They wanted to sneak it out, hide it from the government, and sell it for millions. They even named people in the government who were helping them. The minister's on our side. One guy whispered, "He'll keep it quiet." Ibrahim's hands shook, but he stayed calm. This was a huge crime, a betrayal of his country. He needed proof to stop them. What's he going to do? Don't stop now, because it's about to explode. Issa snuck into the kitchen, his heart racing. He grabbed a tiny notepad and wrote down everything, names, places, the gold-stealing plan. He even drew the leader, a big man with a scar and a shiny gold chain. He had to get this right, because this could save his country. Back in the restaurant, he kept working, but he noticed the leader staring at him, eyes squinting. Did he know who Issa was? Ibrahim's stomach flipped, but he smiled and said, "Need more food?" The man shook his head, looking away, and Ibrahim relaxed a tiny bit. That was too close. When he cleaned their table, he found a crumpled paper with a phone number and a note, "Gold drop, midnight, old warehouse." This was the clue he needed. He hid the paper in his pocket, finished work, and stepped into the dark night, his mind spinning. He went to the restaurant to hear his people, but he found a plot that could ruin everything. What's next? Hold on, because it's going to shock you. Ibrahim walked through Ouagadougou's quiet streets, the paper in his pocket feeling heavy. He knew he needed help. Back at his big house, he took off his waiter clothes and called his best friend, Captain Musa Zongo. In a dark room, Ibrahim told him everything: the restaurant, the sad workers, the gold thieves, and the government guys helping them. Mouse's jaw dropped. "We gotta catch them now," he said, jumping up. But Ibrahim said, "No, we need proof nobody can deny. We're going to that warehouse." Musa looked scared, but he trusted Ibrahim. They had to be smart, like the clever animals in African stories who win with tricks, not just power. Can you guess what happens? Keep reading, because it's about to get nuts. At 11:30 that night, Ibrahim and a few of his best soldiers, dressed like regular guys, went to the old warehouse area. It was dark, with only crickets making noise. The warehouse was huge, old, and creepy, like it was hiding something bad. Ibrahim told his team to hide in the shadows, and they waited, hearts pounding. At midnight, a truck pulled up, loud and dusty. The fancy men from the restaurant got out, carrying heavy bags. Then, Ibrahim saw a face that broke his heart. A government man he trusted, someone he picked himself, was with them. This guy was supposed to help the country, but he was stealing its gold. Ibrahim stayed quiet, watching them move crates and talk about buyers. His team was filming it all, getting proof. But then, everything went wrong. Can you feel it? Don't stop, because it's getting crazy. A guard saw one of Ibrahim's soldiers and yelled, "Who's there?" Suddenly, everyone was shouting, and guns came out. Bang! Shots rang out, and the smugglers started firing. Ibrahim's team fought back, moving fast and smart. Ibrahim stayed calm, telling his guys what to do. They took down the bad guys one by one. Ibrahim saw the government man running, trying to escape. He chased him, jumping over crates, and tackled him hard. "You sold out our people," Ibrahim said, his voice full of anger. The man begged, but Ibrahim tied him up. By morning, all the smugglers were caught. The gold was safe, and Ibrahim had proof, films, papers, everything. He stood by the crates, tired but strong, knowing he'd won a big fight. But the story's not over. Keep going, because it's about to inspire you. The news hit Burkina Faso like a storm. Everyone was talking. The president was a waiter and caught gold thieves. People ran into the streets, cheering Ibrahim's name, calling him a hero. Storytellers in villages started singing about the president who tricked the bad guys, like the clever spider in old tales. Ibrahim didn't stop there. He made new rules to stop stealing, gave farmers cheap seeds, and made sure workers like Amina and Musa got paid right. Amina bought her daughter new school stuff, smiling for the first time in months. Musa got a new kitchen stove and laughed. "Now I can cook faster." Ibrahim started a gold factory to keep the country's money at home, giving jobs to people who needed them. The people loved him, seeing a leader who really cared. Can you believe it? Don't stop now, because there's a big lesson coming. This story's got a huge lesson. Like all great African tales, Ibrahim's waiter trick wasn't just smart. It showed that real leaders listen to their people, feel their pain, and fight for them. He found corruption in fancy suits, but hope in farmers, waitresses, and cooks. Like the spider who wins with tricks or the turtle who beats the fast rabbit, Ibrahim used his brain and heart to change things. This tale, told everywhere in Burkina Faso, says heroes can be anywhere, even bringing your food. And here's the final shock: Ibrahim kept fighting. He didn't stop after catching the thieves. He kept listening, kept working, and kept making his country stronger, so nobody could steal its future again. Would you be brave like Ibrahim? Could you risk it all to find the truth? This story proves one person can make a huge difference, and it's a tale that'll live forever.